I'm good. You can be more accepting of it. You run that risk when you see a guy who looks like a freak and you're with your children.
Ooh, risk. Notice that. And it's almost like when she says risk, she means risk of being around gay people, which, you know, Candace, there was a time when people like your bosses would have said that they don't want to risk letting their kids around people who look like you. Candace Owens continues to give us wonderful content and give us really a look into her confused, addled, smooth brain and how she thinks society works, I guess. I'm not sure. But Candace Owens, I guess, got on her platform and wanted to kind of talk about the fucking the positive aspects of discrimination while not really understanding what discrimination is. So let's take a, oh God, I know why that happens. I know why that happens now. I now have an understanding. If you're wondering, this is what happens when I go full screen, which you might say, wow, that's fucking terrifying. But I figured it out. Unfortunately, it's mainly because I have a light mode, dark mode switch on. All right, let's hear Candace talk about let's see what Candace has to say. This got a lot of attention, I guess, over the weekend.
I definitely
Okay, I'm gonna turn that down just a bit.
Discriminate against men that paint their nails and wear dresses. I don't really care how you feel about that. You can wear your dress and you can paint your nails, but I'd prefer you keeping 100 feet away from a playground and all of the feet away from my children and me. If I see you, I'm going to cross the street with
Welcome
my kids.
Aboard.
Oh, Candace, it's not accepting. We need to be more accepting.
So yeah, you're allowed to do that. That's okay. But that's not the reason. So the funny thing is, here's the thing. Here's the real. This is again another one of those like very thinly veiled arguments that Candace Owens. I swear, I've never heard her make an argument that wasn't like fucking rice paper thin. Candace, you're allowed to not hire people for dumb fuck ass reasons. That's fine. It's okay. You can just be an asshole and not hire people if they come in, if like a man comes in and has like some nail polish. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. You're also allowed to not hire somebody if like they wore a green shirt. You can do that. I know it seems crazy. But Candace, you dumbass. You just did the if they're wearing nail polish of whatever color or I guess painted their nails and a dress. We know who you're talking about. Like, for fuck's sake, just say it with your chest. Just get it over with. You don't want to hire trans people. You don't want to hire non-binary people. Just come out with it. Just come out with it. Just be open about it. Come on. We all know who you're talking about. You're not just talking about like your local Starbucks barista who has his fingernails painted. That's not who you're talking about. Like, chill the fuck out.
Accepting of the people, the men who like to wear panties. I'm good. You can be more accepting of it. You run that risk when you see a guy who looks like a freak and you're with your children.
Ooh, risk. Notice that. Risk. What risk is she talking about? The risk of child sexual assault? Ooh, can't be that one. That's not. We find no disproportionate rate of child sexual assault in gay or trans men. So, ooh, it's really tough on that one. It's almost like when she says risk, she means risk of being around gay people, which, you know, Candace, there was a time when people like your bosses would have said that they don't want to risk letting their kids around people who look like you. Keep that in mind, Candace. Keep that in mind.
Children and say, to be accepting, I'm going to put my kids next to him. I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to go, that looks weird, and I'm going to move away from it. It's that simple. And by the way, speaking of that sort of discrimination, literally any person, no matter how normal they look, if they are at the playground when I take my kids and they're by themselves, I'm like, red flag, get my kid away from that. Why are you at the playground by yourself?
What a fucking judgmental bitch. Honest to God, like I'm not gonna lie. Candace, I think more than anybody, and I'll own up to this, Candace triggers the fuck out of me as like a colored person. Like as somebody who is brown and has to deal with the consequences of that in our society, which, you know, I'm fine. But I cannot help but be utterly triggered by this bitch coming out here on her fucking platform and just kind of being an asshole all the time and embracing this incredibly judgmental, this incredibly narrow-minded, small-minded viewpoint and pretending that she's brave. That's probably the most offensive part about Candace Owens, is that she pretends to be brave, she pretends to have valor. Because what? She openly hates people. And the worst part is, she openly hates people for money. Candace, deep down, is a miserable person. A miserable excuse for what we call human beings, quite frankly. And also, a judgmental bitch.
Oh, there's no scenario where you should just be an adult at a playground by yourself, especially if you're male. I suddenly have eyes on them and I'm watching them near the other kids.
It's called a public space.
Wrong. It's a healthy discrimination for me. I discriminate against doctors, dentists, trainers. I don't want a dentist with bad teeth. I don't want Lizzo being my trainer. If you want her to be your trainer, have her be your trainer.
Is Lizzo a trainer? No, she's a singer. Dumb fuck. What? She's a fucking rapper. Why would you? I mean, I know she's just doing the fat shaming thing, which like, whoa, Candace, you've really stellar rhetoric you've got there. God, fucking strong arguments coming from you. Like, okay, Lizzo's overweight. Cool. You know what the difference between Lizzo being overweight and Candace Owens not being overweight is? Lizzo is happy with herself. Candace Owens proves every single day how much she probably judges herself and how much deep down she hates the person that she is.
I am going to discriminate against somebody that is that clinically obese, saying that.
Also, this isn't this like, again, I guess nobody really like told her that like there's legal discrimination and then there's like just regular ass discrimination. Like what she's trying to do is is devalue the term discrimination so that it doesn't have the negative connotation that it actually has. She's trying to make every decision you make, she's trying to make every negative opinion that you hold the same weight and definition as discrimination. Oh, you don't like Reese's? Oh, well, you're discriminatory towards Reese's cups. You don't like you don't like I don't know, somebody give me something. I don't really care what. You don't like fuck, I don't know. You don't like well, I mean there is short discrimination also. Like, what is this? Obesity, medically unhealthy and dangerous. Are you high? Shake my head. Psychos. Do Ninja Fart. Do Ninja Fart. If you'd like to come on this program at any point, I'll just point you down to the email address, and you can come and you can try to make your arguments over Discord instead of being a coward and just spewing off in chat a bunch of dumb shit. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, fuck no. Yeah, I know fuck no, because you have no fucking stones, that's why. You wouldn't dare come on here and try to argue any of this. You're already always... Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Yeah, guess what? And you're in the space right now. You're in my space. So how about you fuck right off? Anyway, my point being is that Candace Owens, at the end of the day, is really just trying to tie mild dislike of things or just general dislike of random things, of stuff that doesn't really matter from a societal standpoint, and tie those equally to racist, bigoted stances. That's all she's really doing. She's just trying to launder racism, bigotry, homophobia, all the rest of that stuff, and trying to launder it through like, hey, this is just like when you say you don't like the green M&M or you don't like the blue M&M. That's all discrimination is. Discrimination doesn't really mean anything. Even though I bet you if you ask Candace Owens, she discriminates against, she believes that there's white discrimination. So spare me that one there, Candace.
They're going to get me healthy. I am good on that. So all I was to say is obviously discrimination is built into us for a reason. It's a survival mechanism, right? We want to survive. And so when we get that feeling, my mother used to refer to it as the heebie-jeebies. When someone just gives you the heebie-jeebies, even if you can't quite put your finger on why, I think you need to lean into that. And I actually think that society would be safer if we discriminated more. What's happening now is insanity because they're telling us to accept everything. Right. Say, it's fine. He just has a fetish. He likes to wear panties.
Ooh, I like that one. We should just be discriminate. You see, more discrimination is the answer. That's how we truly get to a more functional society. If more people are discriminatory towards each other for random traits. Because again, discrimination based on, we have laws against discrimination on specific grounds. You're allowed to hire somebody. You're allowed to deny somebody a job because they wore a green shirt. You're allowed to do it. You're a dumb fuck, but you're allowed to do it. What you're not allowed to do is not hire somebody for their identity. What Candace is advocating for is a time in America where black people wouldn't get hired, Hispanics wouldn't get hired, the Irish wouldn't get hired, based on their identities. And that's what she's interested in advocating for. Now, the reason for that, you might say to yourself, why would Candace, a black woman, be interested in advocating for a hiring environment that would disproportionately affect her? Well, here's the answer. It wouldn't affect her. Candace is not a regular African-American citizen in this country. What Candace has become is a tool and a mouthpiece for specifically moneyed interests, but from a cultural standpoint, white supremacist interests. Meaning that if she got the society that she'd be advocating for, she's well aware that at the end of the day, she'll be the one on top. She'll be the top and most respected of the black people. At the end of the day, she's just being, I think you know the term. We've all seen Django Unchained. We all know who she is. But that's what she's hedging her bets on. Because she wants to be Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. And she knows that's what she's doing now. If she keeps it up, she might be one of the only ones. Anyway, let's hear. I saw this.
To discriminate. The left does this thing where they take words and they just make them
Yes, this is different. I was like super confused for a minute. Where's my volume? I can never see my volume with. Oh, it's over here. I'm stupid. We can put this back up probably.
Yes, I.
That's okay. That's
do discriminate. The left does this thing where they take words and they just make them sound bad or they make them sound good. They're very good at linguistics.
We are very good at linguistics. That is incredibly true.
Right? So a bad thing that they make sound good is like abortion.
You're Asian heathen. How are you doing?
Parenthood. You go, oh, that's lovely. No, but actually they're killing a bunch of infants in the womb. So that's actually not a good thing.
What was that?
And then abortion, they call it planned. The bad thing that they make sound good is like abortion. They call it Planned Parenthood. You go, oh, that's lovely.
She does know that there's like academic words for this, right? See, this is also the problem when you have like people who have no grounding in education spreading rhetoric. I don't have much, admittedly, that's also me. I'm kind of a dumb fuck. But nonetheless, Candace Owens is really just complaining that she never got the updated textbook and now doesn't understand what things are. I'm sorry, Candace. I don't know what to tell you. Read your fucking textbook and get caught up on your vocab. Jesus Christ, do your homework.
No, but actually they're killing a bunch of infants in the womb. So that's actually not a good thing. And then they all always have these terms. You go, what do they mean? Cisgender, heteronormative, which
But Jesus Christ. Dude, like, fuck's sake. These terms are academic terms. These are like, I'm sorry you didn't go to gender studies. I'm sorry. I know you think because you didn't study it in college or you didn't learn about it before that you're insecure about that information, because that's a lot of what this is. A lot of when people get really defensive about not knowing terms like cisgender or trans or any of that stuff. You know, I'm sure you've had family members who get really defensive about, like, when you say someone is trans, or when you correct them for maybe, maybe a friend of yours is non-binary, and one of your family members consistently keeps saying like she, or like, she or her or whatever it is, and you correct them. What's their initial response? They get really defensive. And they start doing like that doesn't make sense. That's I don't know anything about that. It's insecurity. That's what these people are operating off of. She's fucking insecure because she doesn't have the education. And when other people come to her and say, "Hey, you're a little bit behind the times here with what's going on. Let me update you." What does she do? She lashes out. Or at the very least, she's paid to lash out. Let's remember, Candace Owens probably doesn't have opinions. But either way, all of this is born from insecurity. It's born from smallness of mind. It's born from small people. These people who just want to always feel like they're right. And sometimes you're just not. And just get over yourself. It's fine. You fucked up someone's pronouns. Apologize and be a bit better. But instead, they double down, they triple down, because the alternative would be admitting that they were wrong or they were misinformed. And nobody ever likes feeling like they're misinformed.
Basically means that you're not problematic enough, and they kind of try to smear you or libel you on the basis that there's nothing wrong with you enough. And also, you're too perfect, you're too normal.
That's my
so I'm going to call you cisgender or whatever. And I've started thinking about this weekend in terms of the word discrimination.
What's the, like, guy? It's just an academic term for straight. That's all it is, Candace. You just use a different word for the exact same definition. It's meaningless.
It's become a dirty word. You're not allowed to discriminate. Oh my God, that's discrimination. You shouldn't do that. You should not discriminate. And actually, quite frankly, I think we need to discriminate. I discriminate all the time, every single day.
Yep.
And this morning, I just jotted down a few examples of when I discriminate.
Yep, she discriminates when she chooses the standard butcher's knife over a serrated blade to cut meat. She discriminated when she picked up a few M&Ms and chose the orange one over the brown one, because of course she did. Like, this isn't discrimination, you dumb fuck. That's not what we're talking about. Like, fuck's sake, read a fucking dictionary, learn what context is.
And I'm going to share them with you so that you can feel comfortable sharing your list with your friends. Ready? I discriminate when I hire. I think that's probably illegal, but who doesn't discriminate when they hire? That wouldn't even make sense, especially if I'm hiring for childcare. A woman walks through my door and she makes me uncomfortable for any reason at all. It could be any reason. I'm not going to hire her. Why would I allow this person who makes me uncomfortable watch my children?
Well, it kind of depends. If they just make you uncomfortable, that's one thing. But by all means, when you go to hire that person, why don't you record the conversation and you can tell them that you didn't hire them because they're gay. Go ahead, do that. Go ahead. If you are that bold about it, go ahead and do it. It's fine. You can, it's fine. I promise, Candace, you won't get in trouble. I promise.
We should discriminate. Of course I'm going to discriminate. If she looks like a freak, she can't watch my child. It's that simple.
You know, it's funny. I wouldn't hire Candace because I think she looks like a freak. What is this outfit? Like, the fuck? You know the thing You know the like the thing that they tell, you know, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to